That is carried. Thank you very much for your presentation today, Sharon. Okay, moving on, I'm on to Delegate 7.3, Kanwardeep Singh Johar, resident appeal regarding the COVID-19 mask mandate. Kanwardeep, please proceed. Mr. Singh?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please proceed.
Okay. Thank you all for giving me a chance to speak today on matters related to COVID-19, mask and vaccine mandates. To start, on this day of remembrance, may we remember the innocent baby that was murdered to obtain the fetal tissue used in the testing of these vaccines. May we remember that when we take these medical experiments, the likes of which we've never seen before, we become party to murder. May we remember that breath is fundamental to life. It is life. And that anyone that mandates inhibited breathing through masking our breathing holes is mandating our very death. Put a mask on a 2-year-old and their instinctual response is to get that thing off their face. We could learn much from this. May we remember the brave souls such as Julie Ponesse, Rick Nichols, Mark Trozzi, and many, many others who sacrificed their livelihoods to stay true to themselves and speak their truth. May we remember Christine Massey, a Brampton resident who through her tireless work in submitting freedom of information requests to hundreds of health and science institutions around the world requesting evidence of the isolation or purification of the COVID virus from a diseased patient, was unable to garner a single positive response of the existence of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, currently from over 133 institutions around the world. May remember the medical rape that I was subject to when my consent to being medicated was taken from me by the Consent and Capacity Board of Ontario last year while I spent 2 months committed to a mental institution and was forced to take a cocktail of soul-destroying psychiatric drugs. When you're a sensitive being, you can feel a deadening of your spirit through most pharmaceutical medicines. Side effects are nothing more than the calculus of harm and death that goes into the research, testing, and production of most Western medicine. And now I ask you, how many boosters are you prepared to take? If these experiments work, why the boosters? How much further will you dampen the aliveness of your already perfect, glorious, autonomous, and sovereign human vessel? And what if, as it was written in Revelation, that this medical experiment is indeed the mark of the beast? Will you support your brothers and sisters who reject this mark, this medical experiment, when they are prohibited from all buying and selling? In some cases, we are already being prohibited from working. We are being prohibited from celebrating funerals and weddings. We are being prohibited from visiting the weak and infirm. We are being prohibited from free movement. Fundamental human rights, rights that trump any man-made policies. In these times, the truth is that we need each other. Lonely, old, vaccinated ladies in long-term care homes need more than ever the sloppy wet germs of strange and exotic unvaccinated dancing monkeys to perk them up from the sameness of an overly sterilized and sanitized environment. The same goes for those infirm in hospitals. Last year's first responder heroes who don't comply with vaccine mandates are this year's zeros. Evidence again that there is no genuine pandemic. We could also learn valuable lessons from gay people and little kids who seem perpetually jolly. Perhaps their secret is they both share a penchant to explore every orifice, every crevice of their environment and each other. Instead of being germophobic, they are extremely germ-loving, realizing that connection and curiosity are at the height of optimal living. Please, I implore you, don't project your desire for safety and control onto your innocent kids and vaccinate them with experiments that were derived from murder. As Rudolf Steiner so aptly said, this is an attempt to eliminate the soul and conscience with medicine. Finally, apart from encouraging known approaches to improving health, such as eating living foods, getting lots of sunshine, fresh air, and plenty of hugs and cuddles, the quickest path to balance is to remove all mask and vaccine mandates. And my sincere hope is that the constituents here in a position of authority would move swiftly on both these two fronts. Thank you again for letting me speak.
Kanwardeep, thank you for your presentation. I see no questions, so I'll ask for a receipt from Councillor Fonseca and Councillor McFadden. Anybody opposed? That is carried. Thank you very much. I go to our next 3 delegates, all in turn. They are all speaking to the same issue. First up, Delegate